What up, y'all, and welcome to Oswego Speedway for the 9th race in the 2023 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. Peter Onjak is on pole for the second time this year with Lucas Catano to his outside. Onjak comes into this race 8 points behind points leader Jack James, looking for a good race with 7 races left to go in the championship. Row 2's got Kate Anderson and Usman Hamid. Row 3, Saden Davidson and Daniel Brown. Row 4 is your points leader, Jack James, with teammate David Dixon to his outside. And rounding out the top 10, Zachary DeLello and Brad Lewis. As we go through the rest of the starting grid, you can see Enzo Nereza, Donovan Cage just inside the top 20. Same with James Ellison. Outside of that top 20, you got Pat Johnson, Max Anderson, Winnie Calhoun on the inside line. Good place to start. Sam Young also on the inside line, but towards the back, as is Adam Flickinger on the outside. Same with Dylan Ibrahimian and Reggie Fogelman also back here towards the rear. We've had three drivers win this race, each from a different manufacturer. Dylan Young won here in 2018 for Ford. Zach Rogers won in 2021 for Ram, and Audra Baranowskis won this race last year for Chevy. So one of those three manufacturers will become the first to get win number 2 here at the racetrack. It's a much longer race than in years past as well. 105 lap event here tonight. Drivers will not have to worry about fuel or tires, so only expect drivers to pit if they get damage. One thing that's also different this year for this track specifically is cautions will fly if we have an accident. We don't typically throw cautions on short tracks, but an exception has been made for this race since it is a dirt track. Pace truck pulls off a pit road. Will we need to throw any cautions? We're about to find out. Green flag is out, and we are underway at Oswego Speedway. Onjak leads the first lap of the race as they are 3 wide behind him. DeLello on the inside as Kate Anderson moves to the inside of Onjak for the race lead. Saden Davidson hot on her tail. Anderson will clear for the race lead, so Onjak holds the lead from the pole for just a lap. And with no tire fall off, once these drivers get into a rhythm, you'll actually see their lap times kind of pick up. Davidson now diving to the inside, looking to get by Anderson. Can't get it to bite very well there on the inside line of turn 1, but gets a great run through the middle of the corner as Anderson, I think, got loose. And she will lose the lead to Davidson here on lap 4. So new race leader already in 4 laps. We've had 3 lead changes to start off this race. Saden Davidson has started to pull away as Zachary DeLello gets by Kate Anderson for second place. Usman Hamid now to the inside of Anderson for third, as Gene Sanford battles with Peter Onjak for 5th place. And boy, oh boy, the 29 of Sam Young has made quick work of the field after starting outside of the top 20 and has driven straight to the top 10. Brittany Turner, also with a similar path, has driven up into the top 10 positions. Sam Young comes into this race 9th in the points, 45 points behind Jack James. So Young needs to have a good race here because you've got 3 short tracks coming up: Martinsville, Bristol, Memphis. Now, Memphis not typically chaotic, but Martinsville and Bristol, they're a different story. As always, we'll be running dirt at Bristol. So I'll be curious to see what kind of race we get. Hearing there's going to be a new type of dirt compound used, so we might see a bit of a different kind of race. But so far, Saden Davison leads it here, almost a 2-second lead over Zachary DeLello. 13 laps into this race, and Sam Young is up to 5th place. It has not been a good night so far for several drivers. Adam Flickinger currently running in 23rd place. Jack James has fallen to 26th, make that 27th now as Brahmer goes by. James Ellison has gone nowhere. He's 28th. Max Anderson, Ibrahimium also in the back, as is Reggie Fogelman, Winnie Calhoun, and Donovan Cage. They have all struggled so far tonight, all towards the rear of the field. Not what any of them wanted when they're going for a championship coming into this race. Remember, James, the leader, Jack James that is, 8 points over Onjack, 10 over Fogelman, 19 over Calhoun, 21 over Max Anderson, 27 over Ibrahimium, 32 over Ellison and Jessica Strauss, 45 over Sam Young, 51 over Gene Sanford, rounding out the top 10, and then Usman Hamid is 52 points back, and those are the 11 drivers currently within one race of range on the 13 of Jack James. And James currently running in 28th place, so a couple of those drivers are looking pretty good, such as Hamid, Sam Young, Gene Sanford, Peter Onjack, all looking really good right now because the top 10's where the points at, especially the top 3. So it pays to finish in the top 5, and the higher up in that top 5 you are, the more points you'll get towards your season. And so far, Jack James on path for a down day here at Oswego Speedway. Jack James has fallen even further now down to 32nd. Elon Ibrahimium's going to get into him, turn him down the track, into the inside wall, back up the track he goes, and there's a crash. Big contact for Delon Ibrahimium, Hunter Braxton, Jack James, and the 44 Corey Riggs, and Saden Davidson, the race leader, just got into Braxton, coming around turn 4. The field scattering, a huge blow for Davidson, who was in the race lead, but an even bigger blow for the points leader, Jack James. Race was already going poorly, and it just went from bad to over. Davidson likely also done here, who was in the lead. Braxton, I believe, going to maybe pit here. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, Corey Riggs looks like he had an issue getting to pit road. Lucas Catano has gone in for some reason. I didn't see the 39. Oh, I don't. This is why we don't have pit stops here, because pit road's broken. Pit road is broken. That's why we don't do pit stops here. Let's get a replay. So first off, really quickly, Katana was trying to get by Corey Riggs to stay on the track, and Riggs actually somehow manages to push Katana sideways into pit road. And at that point, I guess Katana figured he'd try to pit instead of just driving straight through, and I'm hearing that they're gonna get him back on the lead lap due to the unique situation. So let's break it down for y'all here. Going through turn 2. Looks like James maybe got tight, checked up just a wee bit, and that was all it took for Ibrahimium to just get into his left rear. Clips him a little bit once, clips him a bit again, and then Jack James doing some quick work did not want to go into that opening. That would have been disastrous, but would have prevented a caution. And then here, Ibrahimium had gotten checked up and became 3 wide with Braxton and Riggs, and at this point they are along for the ride. And man, Ibrahimium off the ground, Riggs and Jack James off the ground. James actually landing on Braxton. Ibrahimium does a barrel roll, hit that Vince Freeze flip counter. And then Braxton is, I think, the least unharmed, and he's just trying to back down to get back going and has no idea Davidson is coming and right down into the path of the 31. And that's gonna straight up knock Davidson out of the race. You see Usman Hamid, Sam Young just kind of squeaking by. Same with Gene Sanford. And that was a tough break for everyone involved, but especially for James Ibrahimian, who are in the championship race, and then for Davidson, who looked like he probably had a truck to beat potentially for the race win here tonight. And instead, it's going to go down as a DNF. On board with Delon Ibrahimian. Delon's race is over. On board with Jack James. James's race is also over. Getting ready to go back racing, Usman Hamid has inherited the race lead after Saden Davidson has been crashed out. We will have 75 laps to go. Hunter Braxton is 1 lap down, looking to get that lap back right away. Battle already on for the lead here from Sam Young, looking to the inside of Hamid. They were practically even before, but Sam Young has been tearing through the field. He's got the fastest lap of the race, setting a 18.650. Gene Sanford right there with him with a 6.54. And Young takes the race lead away. Now Hamid side by side with Sanford and Hunter Braxton, who is a lap down. Scoring has fixed the issue rather for Lucas Catano. So you see Catano down there 37th, but was running in the top 10 before he was wrongfully pushed down pit road by Corey Riggs. As you see Davidson, Riggs, Jack James, and Ibrahimian all out of the race. Ibrahimian will score 1 point for his efforts. Jack James 2 points. So this is big now. You've practically got Peter Onjak taking the points lead here. So now everyone is basically racing him for the points lead in mind, because Peter only has to finish 32nd to take the points lead away from Jack James. So right now Peter is the points leader per se, at least in terms of passing the 13, but Sam Young in the race lead could potentially take that points lead, I believe, depending where Onjak finishes, where some other competitors finish. But Usman Hamid also up here, same with Gene Sanford. Actually, yeah, so highest in the points right now. So these three are 9th, 10th, and 11th in the points. So Ibrahimian came in 6th. I believe highest in the points right now is Peter Onjak as far as top 10 drivers go. Sam Young has started to drive away from the field. You've got Nereza in 4th. Great night so far for Sky Commons in 5th. Chris Harvey as well, man. What a day for the rookie. Or night, rather. He is in 6th. Roberto Crown Jr. has driven up to 7th. So both of the S3 Nemco trucks are fast. Colin Cropley is in 8th. And now David Dixon is fighting for 9th. With Zachary DeLello, as Peter Onjak has fallen outside of the top 10. So Onjak is now in 11th, about to lose that to Ryan Brommer. It does not look like that truck has good race pace here tonight. So next highest in the points is Max Anderson, currently up to, I believe it'll be 16th place here over Kate Anderson. So Max up to 16th. Now how about Adam Flickinger? He is not a driver currently in the championship conversation. He sits 17th in the points, 71 points back. A good night for him would be huge for his championship fight. Same with Enzo Nareza, who came in 15th, 69 points back, who currently runs in 4th. Donovan Cage, as we mentioned, was at the rear of the field earlier, 12th in the points, 63 points back. How has Donovan fared? He is starting to move up through the field. He is currently up to 31st now, passing James Ellison. So Ellison and Cage are the bottom two. These two were considered favorites entering the 2023 season, but they have had a lot of bad luck go their way. So that hasn't quite panned out. You see Winnie Calhoun, she has started to move forward. She is up to 9th, looking to take, or not 9th, sorry, 29th, looking to take 28th from Strauss. As Reggie Fogelman has really started to move forward, he's up to 21st. So everyone knows with the 13 and the 22 out of the race, they've got to make some big moves here, try to get the best finish tonight they can. Because it's typically not often, once we get back to the normal track, or, well, once we get to the season finale in Atlanta, I'd say, it's not going to be often that you have a chance to really gain a ton of points on someone. But this big stretch of races here from Oswego through Pensacola, I mean, it is, every point means so much. And the races are going to be so unpredictable. Qualifying means a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't. Except for probably Papyrus, I would say. Qualifying is going to mean a good bit. Going to be hard to race up through the draft at that track. Anyway, back to the focus of this current race. Peter Onjak has fallen further down to 14th now, as Adam Flickinger has driven up to 11th over David Dixon. He's looking for 10th from Zachary DeLello. Ryan Brommer has also driven into the top 10. He's in 9th. Meanwhile, the rest of the positions have kind of stabilized, with Sam Young in the race lead. Gap is 1.34 seconds. Jean Sanford, I believe, was just a touch faster that time by. Yes, she was. So we'll have to see how this race pans out. We're just about close, just about close to halfway. Battle is heating up for 9th place here between Ryan Brommer and Adam Flickinger. You see Flickinger trying to find a way to get a run on Brommer. Last time by, he was right up the bumper of the Hooters Chevrolet. No other changes currently inside the top 10. You can see 1.6 gap to Sam Young, to Gene Sanford, as Adam Flickinger is going to make the move here for 9th. Everyone else is about at least 0.7 of a second separated from each other. As Adam Flickinger through turn 2 will complete the pass for 9th place. And that'll drop Ryan Brommer to 10th. Taking a look at some of our other championship competitors here as we close in towards 40 laps to go. Max Anderson is currently in 12th place. Peter Onjak currently in 17th. He's about stabilized here. Reggie Folkelman is currently in 20th, trying to fend off Pat Johnson. Winnie Calhoun in 28th place. Donovan Cage has driven up to 29th. Actually, Cage now looking for 28th from Calhoun. Still a tough go for James Ellison. He is currently 34th. Same for Jessica Strauss, who's fallen all the way down to 35th. Sam Young has started to lap some drivers here, starting with Jim Ganton and Stephen Waters. So now you got to wonder, how will lap traffic impact the battle for the lead? Can Gene Sanford get through lap traffic quicker than Sam Young, as you're going to probably see the gap start to decrease a bit from Sam Young towards his nearest competitors? as Adam Flickinger has moved up to 8th, passing Roberto Crown Jr. So this is worth pointing out. Chris Harvey currently in 6th, Colin Cropley in 7th. Cropley about to have Adam Flickinger up his tailpipe. These two drivers have yet to score a top 10 finish this season through 8 races, and they sit 36th and 38th in the points. Harvey the former, Cropley the latter. So a top 10 run here tonight could really help their season, help them maybe find some momentum, and probably jump them up a couple positions in the points standings. So Harvey is actually starting to close up to Sky Commons, who is the next driver to catch Stephen Waters, the first truck a lap down in front of the leaders, aside from Hunter Braxton, who restarted a lap down in, next to the leaders. Have yet to see any changes because of the lap traffic up here. Looks like Adam Flickinger is sizing up Colin Cropley for 7th. Ryan Brommer also sizing up Roberto Crown Jr. for 9th. Brommer, another one of those drivers with an outside shot at this championship. He came into this race 16th in the points, 71 points back, just like Adam Flickinger did. As you see Adam now making the move on the 45. And Adam will clear position for 7th place. Couple drivers trying to close their way up to the top 10 is Kyler Anderson in the 3 and Max Anderson in the 88, 11th, and 12th positions. You also got Skylar Taylor, who's up to 13th place. Benjamin Ice, 14th. DeLello had shown some pace earlier on, but he has stabilized in 15th. Meanwhile, Peter Onjak has continued to fall. He's down to 20th. As Donovan Cage has been doing everything he can to stay on the lead lap, so has Lucas Catano. They are up to 26th and 27th, respectively. Catano still fighting for that 26th, or 27th, I'm sorry. But he completes the pass on Dennis Moore. Now Sam Young looking to lap the 37. As we're closing in on the end, and we have only had the one caution flag so far. And Usman Hamid has actually started to really close the gap to Gene Sanford. Sanford has been struggling to get by some of these lappers, and Hamid has not had as much of an issue. But the point standings are really set to shake up here because you've got Winnie Calhoun down here outside of the top 20, outside the top 25 even, who came in 4th in the points. Fogelman is only about 20th. Same for Peter Onjak. Jack James with the DNF in 41st. So the top 4 in points all not faring so hot. Meanwhile, Max Anderson on the edge of a top 10. Ibrahimian, Ellison, and Strauss all faring poorly. And then Sam Young, Gene Sanford, Usman Hamid, they are top 3 on the track. So this points battle heading to Martinsville next time out, if everything stays kind of the way it is, Martinsville surviving that track is going to be massive for how the points shake up, because it's almost a reset for about 10 drivers heading into the last 6 races of the season. But three more short tracks to go. I mean, the point standings are going to be turned upside down. Gene Sanford, though, has still yet to get by Cade Anderson, which has kind of allowed Sam Young to start pulling the gap back out, as Usman Hamid is now right there looking for a chance to take back 2nd place, and he might get it here. Gene did not get a good entry into turn 1. Hamid to her inside. Gene gets a run off the corner, but nowhere to go with the 77 in the way. Usman Hamid will have the edge down the front straightaway. Now, can he find the way to get by Cade Anderson? Because 2nd place is on the line here, and that's a good bit of extra points. And Hamid will do just that. Gets to the inside of Cade Anderson. and has officially completed the pass for second place. Meanwhile, Sam Young still trying to lap Donovan Cage, who is now passing Daniel Brown for 24th place. And I think that's all Cage is going to be able to do in terms of holding off the 29. Sam Young just dominant here tonight. Much like older brother Dylan Young was back in 2018 when he won the first race here 5 years ago. 29 looking to go back the victory lane here tonight. This time with a different Young behind the wheel. A lot of battling going on here with the lap trucks. Adam Flickinger had gotten by Chris Harvey a couple laps ago for 6th, but since then Josh King has held him up. And Harvey's going to have a chance to take back the 6th place position with 6 laps to go. Harvey now to the inside of a Toyota manufacturer teammate. Actually, I believe those two are teammates. That 19 might not look like a Joe Gibbs Racing scheme, but it's in this universe, it's a Joe Gibbs Racing truck. So not only did Harvey just take back 6th from Adam Flickinger, he got by Josh King as well. Now Adam will have a chance to get to the inside of the 18. He will take a look to maybe try and get 6th place back. Meanwhile, right behind them, Ryan Brommer is going to take 8th place away from Colin Cropley. Cropley trying to hold on for his first career top 10 finish. He's only got a couple laps to go. Kyler Anderson nowhere really close, but Benjamin Ice has been hauling these last handful, dozen or so laps, and he's looking to take 11th place away from Kyler Anderson. But huge gap back from Skylar Taylor. Lucas Catano found the way back on the lead lap. 2 laps to go, though, here for Sam Young. Usman Hamid, Gene Sanford still duking it out for 2nd place. Nareza stable in 4th. Common stable in 5th. White flag is out here at Oswego. 1 more lap to go for Sam Young. And this will be quite the milestone win for the 29. It'll be his first win of the 2023 season and the 5th of his Jerky Pro Truck Series career. Sam Young gets it done at Oswego. That breaks a tie with Nate Rogers and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. for 4th all-time on the all-time wins list in the NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. And Sam Young now 5-time winner in the series. Behind 3rd all-time Charles Sanford, 2nd all-time Donovan Cage, and 1st all-time 2-time champ Audra Baranowskis. Gene Sanford got 2nd place back right at the end on Usman Hamid. 9th, 10th, 11th, though, in the points, finished 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Enzo Nareza comes home 4th. Great run for him. This guy comments in 5th. Chris Harvey, first career top 10 in 6th. Adam Flickinger, 7th. Ryan Brommer, 8th. Colin Cropley, first career top 10 for him in 9th. And Roberto Crown Jr. rounds out the top 10. Get you some notables here. Max Anderson, 13th. Zachary DeLello, 20th. Peter Onjak, 21st. Fogelman, 22nd. Donovan Cage, 26th. Winnie Calhoun, 31st. James Ellison, 32nd. Not great nights for them at all. Same for Jessica Strauss in 36th. But majorly, Saden Davidson, who knows what kind of pace he might have had to fight against Sam Young. We will never know. He comes home 39th after the accident. Jack James, 41st. Delani Brahimium, 42nd. That'll do it for me here from Oswego. Next time out, we will see y'all for the Digital Storm Cup Series at Richmond. And then Jerky Pro will be back after that for Martinsville. So congratulations again to Sam Young. And I'll see you guys next time.